Bootcamp grind, rules arise, creating wealth, no surprise. Who's can here? Teach the way, victory's ours every day. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Step by step, rules before, power surges, a mighty storm. Together strong, every army might, these we conquer in the fight. Goose Gang leads, wisdom shared, battle tactics always prepared. Forge the path, victory we claim, ride the waves, no one's tame. Tactical mind, fierce and proud. Echoes of these walls shouting loud. Together we march, unbreakable chain, honor one, feast again. With every swing, with every stride, earn it all, feel the pride, many auras call. Hear the sound, triumph's ours, stand our ground. Down. Stampede of might, every army strong. Warriors unite, warriors unite where they belong. Fight together, win the prize, earn the fees, time to rise. Step by step, rules before, power surges, a mighty storm. Together strong, every army might, these we conquer in the fight. Who's gang leads, wisdom shared, battle tactics always prepared. Forge the path, victory we claim, ride the waves, no one's tame. No one's tame, no one's tame. No one's tame, no one's tame.
GMet, how are you guys doing today? Welcome everybody to the Advanced Bootcamp number 4, the DAMM V2 version. We welcome you all here. I know everybody's been waiting to see this, so we finally get it done. And we're gonna crack right into this. Let me just get my presentation set here. Or to the correct screen. And let's see, share. And here we go. All right, let's go. So, yeah, DAMM V2, welcome. So you guys, you may have seen some people posting some wins like these out there. You know, some not so big, some really big, but the percentage on this is just insane. And you may even seen some of these P&L cards out there. But we're here to hopefully teach you guys a little bit, maybe some different methods on how to do this, and your options of what things you can do. So, yeah, 7K to 1K, that was insane. Magika, was that you? Were you the one who did that?
Yeah, I did the gauche one, I think, from the middle.
Yeah. That's.
Was that or other one? I think mine. Let me see. Oh, I think the in the middle is mine.
Yeah. Yeah, 1K in fees there. That's just insane, bro. That's awesome. But
Yeah, I have hit that once, and I have hit like 500 a couple times, I think.
that's base, dude.
Yeah, but that
So,
not don't happen every time. That's just like
right. Yeah, and
lucky.
we'll get into that. But here's some of the things about the DAMM V2 that's a little bit different than the DAMM V1, aka dynamic pools. You've got more choices on your base fees. You can choose whether to activate dynamic fees or not. And this is really cool. You know, you can collect the fees in the base and the quote token, or the quote token only. That's really cool because I mean, most of us, if you're doing memes, you don't really care to hold the meme when you're done. You just want the soul or the USDC or whatever, and that's really cool. Um, the fee scheduler option, it can be an exponential or linear, and I'm going to show that. You know, that starts at 50% and over time it decreases as the token ages. And of course, you can even schedule this. And so let me show you that here, actually. So let me pull that up to over here. Here we go. Okay, so here I am on the pools page of selected dynamic pools V2. Go to create a pool, create a new V2 pool, V2 pool. And what's cool here is, you know, token 22 support and what have you. There's a way to do a farm. I'm not sure how it's done. I think you do it programmatically, but and here we're just going to go with the meme coin just for this demo here. And I'll just select a random token here. Let's go with Buttcoin just for fun. Now, of course, you need to verify the price of this. And there's a handy link here to Jupe. Just for expediency, I'm just going to copy and paste the estimated market price in here. But again, verify that, and always verify that you are putting in the correct token. You can drop the CA in there to be sure. Now, the fee tier
Always
here,
try to just adding heavy metal. Try to copy the CA like
yeah,
from GMGN or the chart you're using, because if you try to read like write the token, you're gonna get a lot of scam tokens, and a few other guys already missed and lost money because of that. So please
correct.
always check.
Yeah, always check. And really, it is best to paste the CA. I just picked one out of there just for expediency. Uh, but yes, please be careful. You'll choose your fee tier, and this is the fee that you know. This is the base fee. Okay, what it'll be, no matter what dynamic fee or you know, if you're using the fee scheduler. Um, this is what it'll end up being in the end. Of course, you can customize when you actually want to start something. So if you are, say, launching a project or whatever, and you don't want it to start until a certain time, you can choose that. But if you're just a degen, you know, start it right away. Dynamic fee, yes or no. And here you choose whether you want both tokens or just the quote token. Now, these things cannot be changed once you create the pool. So, you know, pay attention, be careful when you're doing this. And of course, here, the fee scheduler, we're going to say yes. So we can see here the exponential, it's going to start, you know, as soon as you launch it, that fee will be 50%. And on the exponential, you'll see that it dramatically drops over time. And after 120 minutes, it's going to be down to your whatever your base fee was, right? So whatever you set that as, that's what it's going to end up being. Um, it drops faster than the linear option. So we can see here at, let's say, well, let's see. So you see here that it drops on a linear scale, really, to be honest. Just it's over a longer period of time. The exponential, it drops even faster. So it's just going to depend on what it is you want to do. But that's the base of setting up that pool. And let's just look at some here. Let's see. This one right here, in here we'll see, the volume, the fees, the base fee, the dynamic fee. Currently this one doesn't have any dynamic fee because the token isn't very volatile. And so that's the total there. The liquidity provider fee, that's the sum of the base fee and the dynamic fee. The protocol fee is 20% of the LP fee. That's how much Meteor is collecting off of that. And then it'll tell you what the quote, what kind of fees are you getting. And this one is just in the quote token. And this one actually didn't have, this was a different kind of launch. They didn't use the scheduler. So I'm just going to pick a different one here and we will see. They didn't do this here either. Why am I picking the wrong pools, Magika?
What?
Oh, I'm just not seeing the scheduler on these. Maybe it's just dead. Skip me.
Yeah, if you want to, you probably need to find a new pool.
Yeah.
See some dynamic fees.
Yeah.
Send you one for the second. So then your GMs. Yeah, just enter this pool. It's printing right now, so you can look at that.
Which one?
I send you on the DM on Discord.
Oh, yeah, I don't have that open.
Oh, sorry.
Put it in the studio chat.
Okay.
There we go. Cool, cool.
This one is just made. I did 20% was as we speak on that pool.
Yeah. So here we go. We can see our fee schedule here. Exponential. So it's been alive for 16 minutes, 15 minutes. And so we could see that it's already dropped down to 39%. So this is a better, thank you for that. So we can see what the protocol fee is, the liquidity provider fee, the dynamic fee. And again, this liquidity provider fee does not take into account whatever the fee scheduler fee is, but that supersedes that. The DAMM V2, you must make a balanced deposit into it. So you will have to buy the token. And whatever you enter there, it's going to want to do, a balanced, right? And you have to check the little box and hit deposit. Now, sometimes you may get an error, especially if it's a fresh one. You just basically just keep trying and do it. I've got my liquidity slippage set pretty high on this to try and make sure that I get in. But use that with your own caution. The other thing that's cool about the DAMM V2 that you won't see on the DAMM V1 is that the fees are claimable separately. So they're not auto compounded into the pool like the DAMM V1. So that's,
for me, that's the best update from the V2 from the V1. The fact that we can choose which tokens we want. If you want Soul, if you want the base token, and that for me that's the best update from the one for the two, because you don't need to auto compound on the position. You can choose to do that or no. So that's amazing.
Why is this crashing on me? Okay. I'll just, that the built-in Jupiter swap is just having an issue right now. So I'm gonna do a demo here. Paste my CA. There we go. I just want a small amount of it because I don't even know what this thing's all about. Okay. So max, understand, deposit. Okay. So there I am. I'm in. I got $6.61. No fees yet. And it's not common to see small amount of liquidity, and a lot of people only play with a very small amount. You know, these things I would not go ape into these things, um, especially if it's a fresh meme. But you know, you do what you want to do there. Anyway, that's in. Let's get into actually find out how Magika does it. So I will stop sharing my screen. Magika, if you would, proceed.
Should I share my screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's just need to close some stuff here. Okay. So can you see my screen?
Nope, but there we go. And pure gas fees asked a question. Almost every pool I see is 6%. Do we have any number on the percentage of pools which use 6%? I don't know how you'd find that, but I think a lot of people, they're playing these things quickly. They're trying to maximize their fees there. But yeah.
So everybody's looking to my screen. So my setup for DAMM V2 is really simple. I try to not overdo stuff or to think too much because my size is super small. So the whole point of my strategy is throw money in the tokens that I find that are not a rugs, full on rugs, or are not full bundled, and I try to find over the 100 tokens that they made every hour on Solana, the ones that looks more organic and have real trades, because what you want for giving fees on your GMV2 is heavily botted trades or real trades from real people. I think both of them give fees. So my setup is pretty easy. I come to Jupe, 5 minutes here. Usually I look for the top traded ones. Here you can track all the tokens that are being traded right now on the chain. I only use volume filter. You can see here is 50,000. I got this strategy for potato, and the first week we are trying this DMM, and I think the best approach is just to look here and avoid the big ones, because for the MV2 pools, what we want at the first stage is a real good volatility, especially if the volatility is above 50%. That is the fee scheduler that the pool starts. You will start to earn fees immediately, but a lot of tokens take some time to move more. So you're not gonna get a lot of fees at the start, but if you have a little bit of patience and you wait the 2 hour time frame for the fee schedule to go down, you usually can get some fees on that time frame. So the setup is just this, like try to find the best launches, open a pool with a small amount of money that you can afford to lose, because you're gonna lose a lot, and sometimes you're gonna hit 10, 20x, because there is not much liquidity on these pools. So you are basically the only, like Meteora and the people who are doing this pool are the only person charging high fees for these new tokens. So sometimes if someone is willing to pay that fee for you, you are basically two or three people will get that. So that's why the fees are so good on these pools, because there's not much of, let's see, PvP between us. Everyone is trying to do a small amount and share the profits we get from the pool. So first you need to find the token. Let's open one here. This one, like this one rugged already, so this is not a good example. I usually use 30 seconds. You guys can see. Never aping tokens that you guys see a big green candle, because this is probably the dev or bots trying to get your money. So if you see big candles like this, don't go for it, because this is totally a rug. So let's try to find another one.
Hey,
Uh,
Magica,
okay.
Diego
So
is asking what filter you're using.
yeah, my only filter is volume. I use 50K volume because on these new launches, if you find a launch that has more than 50K volume, they probably gonna migrate. They probably gonna pump above 100K, like the one we're doing, this dead one. You can see here. This is a good projection for a new launch token, because there is not much like huge green candles or huge volatility going on the first stage. This tells me that this maybe real traders or a real community that can be faked as well. So you need to be really picky with the tokens. So I aped this because they migrate, and after a few minutes before migration, I saw volume and a good perception. So I opened the pool. You can see here that I did around $50, and I'm up around $10. So 70% profit in, I don't know how much minutes, 20 minutes, 27 minutes that this token is alive. So for me, for my kind of trading that's like grinding really slow and aping with little money, this works really well for my setup. You first you look for dupe. If dupe don't show you like anything good, we can go for external tools. We have a few ones that already made by the community. We have the rocket scan, that is basically the same thing Jupe does, but the dev took out all the big tokens. You only gonna see the small ones. This helps a lot to make faster trades. So if you click here, let's see that, and you click here, they can link you directly to the pool, so make your life easier, right? So we're printing on this actually live. So that's a good example, right? So go for the tokens, find your favorite tracker. You can use Rocket Scan, you can use Jupe Pro, you can use this one, Meteora DAMM V2 Researcher. It does the same thing the other one does, but it's a different why. And the goal here is just try to find the tokens that will live for at least 2 hours. Don't ape in full on rugs, so tokens that are like fully bundled, because they will dump and they will not pass the liquidity through Meteora pools. And every day I got questions on the Discord from people saying like, I opened a DAMM pool, but I don't have fees. Why? It's because you're aping in pools or without volume or without liquidity uh, that is enough to make the pool start to earn fees. Because imagine if you ape in this token at 100K, right? Here, I ape it in 100K. If the token don't go far enough for the pool start to hit the fee scheduler, you're not gonna earn any fees. So people don't understand that this is like recharging really high fees. So you need to find a token that can pay you that fee. You know, you if you join a token that don't move 5% in a minute, you're not gonna get any fees because the pool will not start to earn. And my setup is really simple. It's like just look for tokens AP in a small amount. I usually do zero point 0.1 Sol token, zero point 0.1 Sol, and it's working pretty well. Like, it's really hard to find the good ones because you're gonna get rugged a lot. Like, I get rugged 20 and 30 times I tried, but the ones that work usually pays for the losses. But this is not financial advice, like we are testing this for a month, I think. Potato was the one that started this and discover, and we start to test all the pools, all the fees, and we come up with this kind of strategy that's working for us. That's making just the 6% pools because you want more fees, right? And do exponential and quote token. That way, even if the token rugs, we still will get fees. Like, what's the difference from the DAMM V2 pool from buying just a meme coin? Like, if you buy a meme coin and the dev rugged, will go to zero instantly. So you have nothing. If you do a DAMM V2 pool, at least you can get something. Like, even if the dev rugs and you go to zero, you still get $5, $10. That depends on how much money you put in. But for me, the best part of this tech is even if I get rugged, I still get something in return. Can be 10%, 20%, 50%. That's what I put on. But at least I'm getting something back when I miss. And when I get the right token and the token moons, it's just like full on profit. So
Hey,
that's my advice to everyone. Try to find the good ones, and the bad ones will still give you something, not take 100% of your money.
so Magic, if someone's asking, and if the damn V2 pool is already open, what should I do then? I mean, I don't. I think like if you find one and you like that pool, go ahead and get in it. You don't have to create your own. Some people will create multiple ones for whatever reason, but just like with anything else, the more TVL that's in a pool, just like on the DLMM, if there's more TVL in a pool, the more likely trades are going to go through it, right?
Yes.
And one of
And,
the
and
things,
we tested it. Like, there is a bunch of setups for these pools, but specific for new token launches and for meme coins, we are going for the big ones because we tested. And in my testing, like, if you make a 1% pool and you get $1,000 volume, you get way, way, way less fees than the 6%. And we see a lot of people creating 2%, 4% pools, and they are taking out the volume from the bigger pool, the 6% one, and they are not getting paid it enough as we do on the 6%. That's why you see most of the pools from the launches are 6% because that makes on our testing, the 6% always makes more fees from less
yeah,
volume. So
yeah,
that
yeah,
is my 2 cents here. Like, you can
that,
create anything you want, but sometimes even when the fee schedule is going like 6% or 10%, we can still get really good fees on the bigger pool. So that usually depends on the token and if there's enough liquidity going in the pool. But sometimes you're gonna get wrecked and no volume will go and you don't make any fees. But that usually don't happen pretty often.
so, and I'd just like to point something out. I mean, what we're talking about here is on memes, and uh, one of the things that the DAMM V2 does, and it's part of the anti-sniper suite or the AS, is you're a lot of the volume that you're capturing is those snipers. You want to get those snipers. They're going to pay to snipe. Mev bots that hit. That's where you're getting a lot of your fees from. Now, like over time, as the token proceeds, the volume that you're going to get through this pool is going to be less and less, until it reaches like zero.
Yeah,
You
that's true.
and that's
But
whenever you want to
I
grab. If you want to keep
oh,
playing it, that's when you move to the DLMM.
sure, sure. But I tested a few pools that I hold for 1 or 2 days. Like
Yeah.
it, sometimes it's worth to hold the position a little bit longer. Like usually when the token pass 1 or 2 million, I take half of my position and go to GLMM, but I'm still keeping some on the DMM. I in my setup, I only exit if I think the token is gonna rug or is not giving fees. Like if you are
Yeah.
in a token and you're getting 10 cents, 20 cents, $1, like 20 cents, we don't get like sniper or good maths and everything like huge profits. But if it's printing, like you put $10 and you're getting like $1 an hour, that's good. Like that's really good. We are actually getting 10% per hour. So I see a lot of the new traders just going in, waiting 10 minutes and don't get fees and they get out. But that's usually for me, just personally for me, is not a good risk management because even with the small fees from the small trades, you can recover your investment if the token lives enough. So so the goal is really hard to find the needle inside the barnyard and go for it when they're making fees. Like if it's still making fees, I can hold my position for a month. I don't care. It's getting volume to the pool. I'm getting $1, $2. I'm still in because that's what I do. I'm farming fees, giving fees. I'm here. Stop giving fees. There is no volume. The dev looks sus. The socials does not have any updates. Go out. Go
Yeah.
to the next one because it's not worth enough to the risk because this is the riskiest thing you can do because you're buying a token that has like 10 minutes of living, so you don't have any information, you don't know if it's the real project, you don't know anything. The only information you got is from GMGN and Jupe and
Right.
Meteora itself and Twitter. So always ape, and if you see that's going okay, try to research a little bit about the project and see if it's worth to hold at least for a few hours. If not, just take it out because this is meme coins and 99% of them will die in a few hours. So
Yeah.
just try to do your best
So
and pick the right
someone
ones.
someone says I thought DAMM V2 was something like first come first serve. If you're too late, you get less. And I mean it's true. You want to be on a lot of these. You want to get in there quick. You want to like the faster you can get in this, the better. I mean it's not to say that you can't get in and get some money after just a few minutes. But speed is definitely king here. I mean, I'm looking at this. I started out my position. I started out with just a little over $6 invested. The position value, of course, the token obviously is pumping because it's worth now $10.40, and I've got a dollar 28 in fees so far. So I mean, it's not amazing, but profit's profit, right? And it is where I could have gone in with a lot more, but yeah, it's like that now. And something else that I want to circle back to, a point that I want whenever you were talking about, go with the 6%, and so the question people may ask is why do the lower fees even exist? And that's because
Yes,
the DMV2 is not just for memes. Projects may launch their token here and they may want to have a lower fee pool because it's going to make more sense on an actual project that's not just here 1 minute gone the next meme. So there's reason and purpose for those lower fee pools, but whenever you're doing these fast rugs that there's no time, it hasn't been alive long enough for you to do any technical analysis, go at the 6% because there's a great chance that this thing is going to rug, and so you need to maximize your fees to offset that
yeah.
impermanent.
And something I'm trying to teach people on my stream is that this is not trading. Like you always say that on the bootcamp, liquidity providing is not trading. You're basically lending money to projects or devs or rugs or everything that pops on chain. So you need to get something back from your investment. That is the fees, but you need to lend your money to the best places. You don't want to lend your money to 100 unknown people that you don't have any information on that. You should look for the good ones and lend your money to them at the start, because if the project is good, if the meme is good, you can actually make a lot of fees for that. But just understand that you are lending for the token through Meteora, and that can pays off or that cannot pays off. So profit or regular GLMM, but something GLMM always makes more fees. Like if you want actively manage your positions and make a lot of fees, go for the GLMM. This is more like grinding, try and error strategy, different from the GLMM. This is more like active and spot on, because you can open a pool on GLMM and make $100 in 30 minutes. This will probably won't happen here, because I don't recommend you to put that much of money inside of a new token, right? Like at least this meme coin token. So just test it out, try to learn everything. And if you have any questions, go to my stream. I stream every day, and I will be here to help you. So for me, that's it. I don't think I have any more information to give.
Okay. Well, I'm actually showing on screen. I withdrew from my position just, for the demo, and the great and mighty Alex is here. He's got for the DAMM V2 here on metlex.io. You can get a P&L. You have to choose the DAMM V2. I copied the closing transaction here. Going to paste it in. Hit the rocket. Let's go. It's analyzing, and here is my profit. I was in there for 20 minutes and I made 77% profit. So, it's not the screaming big one that you see some of the others, but 77% in 20 minutes, that's I'm not crying about that. But that's how that works, and you get these beautiful cards designed by now.
I'm gonna send you mine for you to show on the stream. Send you. I made 182% in the same position we did in 36 minutes. While we are talking here and teaching, and that is the setup here, everyone. Like, my only 2 cents here. Don't ape too much. Try to find the best gems and be chill. Like if you lose in a position, don't get that over your head, because that can make you make mistakes. So go harder. And this is just for small grinding and every day. So test for yourself, make some pools with small money, and if you can see that is working, just keep going. That's what I did.
So there was something here. Someone asked, what's the difference between DLMM and DAMM V2? All right. Well, so the basic of that is that the DAMM V2 is more like your standard AMM. So the liquidity is not concentrated. Now, there is a way to define a range so that it's concentrated. I think that has to be done programmatically. I don't know that it's an option from the page, the pool creation. I'm not really sure how it's done. They do exist. In fact, there's a Sol USDC pool that the range is defined between $50 and $500. So it's concentrating a little bit, but by and large, what Magika has deposited in here, or these pools that he's showing you, they're not concentrated. It's just spread out.
Yeah,
Um,
I
what
have
are-
a good way to explain that. Like GLMM, you are tightening your liquidity on a place to earn fee, right?
yeah.
On GMM, you are doing a spot position. It's a spot position with infinity range. So, and when you open the start, your range is gonna be like this. You imagine if you open a token, it has 100K market cap, right? So your range is from 100K to zero, and then 100K to infinity, right? So as the price moves, the tokens will be traded as the same thing that occurs on the GLM spot position. So this is the same concept. You need to pair Sol and the token, and you're gonna make a wide and infinity range. And if the a liquidity enough to move the price, like and the snipers and everyone that is gonna make that huge candles that everyone saw this over the past years. Like we will look into a token and you'll see like this huge candle that goes to the sky and go back. Now we are profiting on that because the pool will swap the tokens to Sol at that time. So that's why we get a lot of fees. So I think this is the best way is a spot position with infinity range. You're not gonna set up anything. It's just throw in and the setup is already made. So that's it.
So someone's asking, how long do you stay in a pool with your position? When do you exit? I mean, me personally, I'm looking to get in and out. And whenever it looks like the feed generation is, about done, that's whenever I bail. Magica talked about, staying in for the longer. I mean, you can definitely, like, if there's a massive dump on something, you can get a lot of fees out of that.
Yeah.
Um, and you may want to play it long term,
But
but
let's
for me,
remember.
I want to
But
get that
remember that.
stuff
Okay.
fast
Okay.
and get out.
But remember that even for in my experience, if the pool is giving fees, at least if it's giving small fees, it's good to stay because even if a big dump or a big pump occurs, you can get back. But if you're in a pool for an hour and you get nothing, nothing, really nothing, no fees, no volume, just go out. Like don't stay there. But if you're doing a pool for at least the fee schedule 2 hours, the first 2 hours, and you getting consistently fees and the price are moving like organically, I think there's no problem to stay longer.
Yeah. Okay. So someone else asked a question here. Don't you make more money providing more concentrated liquidity than spreading it, especially if you can predict the price range? I mean, this is all really about getting that initial. Um, uh, and yes, you can, but this also, like, it just in the beginning, especially getting snipers and Mev, you're gonna rip on those. Particularly with those really high fees. So yeah, over time, it's now this one here. How often do you claim your fees? Does it compounds? What? No, the DAMM V2 does not compound your fees. They are set separately, just like the DLMM. The DAMM V1 does auto compound your fees, and you can't claim them separately. I don't bother, especially if it's, if I'm getting it only in the quote token. So I have no reason to claim it separately until I close. If you were getting both the base token and the quote token, and you wanted to say compound that, you can claim and put it in there. But a lot of people like this dad token. I have no idea what it is. I don't care. I don't want to hold it. I don't want that token. I only want Soul. And that's what's beautiful about the DAMM V2 is that I can have just Soul. Now, I remember asking one of the devs, is it doing a swap? Is it just swapping it? And he said no. He couldn't tell me how that works, but it's not doing like an auto swap. You're just getting Sol or USDC, whatever that is. So yeah. Now we have another instructor that hopefully he will figure. He's having a little technical issues right now. Hopefully we'll get him back. Uh, let's see. I think while we are waiting, I will show some additional stuff that I had to show you guys. So next on the slide here. So, we uh, Magika showed you some, ways to find some of the tokens using some different tools, Rocket Scan, Juke Pro. There was another one. What was that? DLMM. Can you put that in the chat?
Yeah, sure. DMM GLMM font dot AMA. Let me check. Don't check.
Here,
Hold on.
D.
The other
What
one
was it?
was this one.
Put
Sorry.
it in the studio chat for me, please.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Dropped
you're
in the
good.
comment.
So let me drop this in as a banner for you guys. Yeah. So there's the tool there. But another great place that you can find it, especially if you don't have time to do your own research on these things, there is the DGen DAMM channel in the LP Army Discord. There's a QR code there. If you're not on the LP Army Discord, you are missing out on life. You need to join. But this is a great channel, but you got to be watching it. If someone posts something, and you think it looks good, get in quick. But that's a great resource for people.
Yeah, we are just adding. We are on Digin GMM the whole day. If you have questions or want to learn something, just drop there and send a message. Like there is a lot of good traders, and people are doing GMM the whole day, 24 hours a day. If you find a token, and you want to get just a second view or another opinion about that, just drop that, and we will give to you.
Yeah. And here I provided a QR code to some additional guides and strategies on X. Sets Monks, Nauj, a lot of people. I've made a collection of some of their guides and strategies. The crackhead strategy, the lurker strategy, some of the tools that people are using. They are. There's some really good information out there. It's all on X, so highly encouraged that you check that out and read that stuff and level up, because there's definitely more than one way to do this. So check that out. Let's see. Let me check on the other guy, and he's not back. Alex, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add.
Not really. I just want to ask Magika, do you have some setups to track the tokens before migration and create a pool? Do you prefer some token launchpad platforms or something like this?
The first weeks we are testing, right? I have tested. I don't know. My wallet is on the top 10 creating pools. When this was launched and we are trying to find the best way to do, I was aping everything. So I was throwing $10 in all the tokens before and after migration to test how we can see what works and what don't. Right now, after this time has passed, we are noticing that a lot of rugs are specifically targeting liquidity providers. So you have a lot of tokens that just migrate and straight dumps. So I'm waiting a little bit of the price action before migration. So I wait 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and I wait to see if the pool is getting volume and making at least a small fees. Or say I wait to see if the pool is active and giving something, because In my experience, just throw before migration doesn't work because most of the tokens don't even migrate. Even the tokens we see like 50K, and if you're gonna migrate at 60K, but they just straight dump in a straight line. So I don't like that because before migration you don't get any fees because the token is not live yet. After migration, when you wait a little bit, even if the dev rugs, you still can get something in return, $5, $6. I don't know how much your size is. So in my experience, I'm waiting more this week than the past ones and trying to find just the ones that are actually going. Because if you try too hard, you just gonna get a lot of losses, and that can break your mindset. So I'm for this week, these past days, I'm trying to just go the ones that I'm have more certain that will print a little bit at least. Because for me, if I talking rugs and I don't get at least $5, my job is wrong. I did something wrong, or I did miss anything. I don't didn't look right the token. So I think wait a little bit is okay because if the token will go, you will get fees. You get fees. You get price appreciation. So for me, I'm waiting a little bit. I'm not, but I usually use Axion and Rocket Scan and Jupe. That's the tools I'm using.
Awesome.
Okay, nice.
Okay, so we have another instructor. He's just he's trying to unrug his audio here. Um, so let's see. Did you want to look at anything else, Magika? Show anything else?
Let me see. Yeah, my setup is pretty easy. Like I don't see. I think the best approach is to be picky with the tokens. Don't jump in everything. I have jumped in everything over the past 2 weeks, and that's worth it for me because I got a lot of scan tokens that gave like $100 out of nowhere. But that's not. I think for me, for my setup, that's not sustainable or healthy because if you start to throw money in everything, you will hit something, but you can get stressed out because you were doing too much. So I'm preferring to do two, three, or four pools, just the ones that I look for and see that is going good. So, but you can try throw money in everything. That will probably work, but you're gonna work a lot. So for now on, I'm just trying to do slowly and trying to find the opportunities that are as they come up.
Okay. Can you show us the DAMM.DLMM.MA again?
Sure, one second. I'm gonna open here. Can you see here?
Yep.
So this tracker is different for the other ones because this tracks the pools on Meteora. So you can see here, you can see the last created pools, X-Ray Soul, the token CA, how much EVL there is in, how much fees this has made, and how much is the fee per TVL. If you scroll down and you have like the link for the Meteor V2 pool and the GMGN link. If you can see here, you can see that we have a lot of pools with low liquidity that are making good fees like $75, $54. And you can see that there's some pools that with $100 that have made more than what was put on. So maybe I can find the one from last night. Let me see. Creo. Look at this Creo thing.
Okay.
Last night, someone made 1.5K with $50 on a Creo position.
That's badass.
Yeah, that's badass but that was a straight rug, like was a token that was money and the devs sell, but the sales from the devs are routed through the pool, and the guy got like 50% fee on
Right.
a new token,
Yeah.
and that was massive. But I usually use this to see how the last pools from the last hours are performing. If I see a pool that is doing a lot of fees with low TVL, I usually ape on this, and I track to see like the new ones. But the market's kind of dry these 2 days, so
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a
not much
weekend.
going on.
Well, you know, but that's something that highlights something that I think is very important because people think, oh, I can only LP whenever the market's good, whatever. But you know, the DAMM V2, you know, a token could be dumping. It could be, you know, that giant red candle going down. And if you're getting massive fees, especially if it's only in the quote token, you know, yeah, you're the money that you deposited, you know, that value may go way down and you know, you've got your impermanent loss. But if you've made so much more in fees that it just offsets it by so much more, you can get that. Um, but Magika Hashirima is here. So I'm going to give him the opportunity. Hopefully he's ready. Oh, sorry. Um,
Hashirama
Hashirama.
is the goat.
Can you guys
Hey,
hear me?
Gmet.
Hello?
Hey.
All right, sorry about the delay. My PC was overheating and it was creating this weird buzzing noise. And I'm using my Mac Mini, which doesn't have a mic, so I had to install a mic and then get the audio settings fixed. But sorry for the delay.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. Feel free to share your screen and or you know, take it away. It's all yours.
All right, I'm opening the share screen now. 1 minute. Can you guys see what I'm seeing right now?
You can now.
So on Jupe, what I found is that I personally like pools that are launching from Believe because it's more intentional and less memey. And especially for a lot of plays that are DAMM, since they're extremely new, a lot of times it's more about the ratio game. So you're overall trying to get in early and find something that has a lot of momentum. Things that I found that had the best momentum is from the Believe launch pads. They don't happen often, but when they do, they sometimes can be fruitful. So on jupeag.com, you can go on launch pads and filter them out through them individually. So 1 second here.
Can you maybe scroll zoom in just a little bit?
Yeah, 1 second here. So yeah, so on jupeag.com on the top, there's gonna be a few different options. Right now, I'm on the Launchpads tab, and then you can click on the Believe, and then it will show you all the popular options. But these are usually more for higher volume. Sometimes you can filter out on the lower time frames, and the ones that are launched through Believe on the earliest ones. Like yesterday, Alpha Dragon, that was a decent one. And so that's just a filter that I like using to find specific launch pools for DAMM V2. Because a lot of times it's kind of like hit or miss. That's just kind of like a less frequent option. Another version that is, I think, a little more degen, if you guys are into that. Sometimes I will follow wallets on GMGN or Axiom, and I will kind of follow plays from specific wallets. But as far as like finding individual specific launch pads, I found that Jupe AG, when you are filtering out the launch pads, you can specifically go through them individually. The most I found to be the beneficial is probably sometimes you get Pump, Believe, Bonk. Boop has been failing pretty hard lately, so I kind of avoid Boop launches. And then the Meteor DBC. sometimes for Radium or Pump, the volume gets redirected to Pump Swap. So majority of the times you don't even get any fees. So that's kind of one of the filters I would go out is specifically going for launch pads. Does anyone have any questions?
So people are trying to figure out how you get to the Launchpad tab.
Oh yeah, so when you go to juke.ag/pro, it'll be on the very top section. There'll be cooking, alpha scan, launchpad, popular, top traded, or organic. And then when you click on launchpad specifically, it'll list all the launchpads that are on Solana. And then the highest volumes are automatically routed to the top. So you can click on any of these directly, like for example, Pump Swap, and you can filter it by age, and it'll show you kind of the most recent ones. So this is another way to filter it out. I was having a hard time logging in earlier, but I think someone was reviewing Rocket Scan, and I didn't see the link for the app that Magika was sharing before, so I'm not sure what he just shared, but this is another way to filter.
I just put it up on screen there, damm.dlmm.me.
Great.
That's what he's using. That's what one of the ones he was using. But yeah,
Great.
Juke Pro is great.
Yeah, I really like Rocket Scan as well.
Yeah, what's the URL for that one?
Yeah, 1 second here. Let me add it on there.
You can put it in the studio chat.
Okay. One second here.
No worries. You know what? Let's see. Yeah, I can't. Here we go. This is good enough. I got it. rocketscan.fun/dashboard.
Here, let me change the screen real quick. Comment here. Delay, almost there. All right. Is the screen populated?
Yep.
Was this discussed earlier by chance?
I think very briefly, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I believe so overall the Rocket Scan is kind of like ground floor filtering for DAMM V2 pools. There previously was a sound filter, which I personally enjoyed just because I have so many tabs. It audibly kind of notifies me when it kind of new pool populates, which I did like. I'm not sure if that's an option that you can filter it out again, but yeah, so just going over the pools, it just visually just aggregates the data so you can kind of see what's hot at the moment. So a lot of these pools I feel as if are very short-term lived. So when I'm viewing these pools, I would usually go for time duration first. So things that are launching the first. And things that I'm noticing right now is that the majority of new launches from here are always pump swap or pump launchpad tokens. And from my experience, 99% of those are gonna be very short-lived. So the faster you can get in, the better opportunity you might be able to get in fees. So this is a different way to filter it out. But going back onto juke.pro, just a different way to filter. It kind of filters out kind of these varieties. So you can kind of, if you want to be more degen and get something of just more fun or using less capital, I feel like this is good to kind of get your feet wet and get introduced. And sometimes there might be a runner. So a really good thing about DAMM, what I like is when you enter these pools, sometimes you might have a runner that you never would expect. So even with these low TVLs, I would still put maybe roughly about 0.05 SOL, and then just see how it goes. And would ride it to 0. And if it dies, it's only a few bucks to me, and I'm not really worried about that. But if it lives, I would then move it to DOM.
So I see here it gives you an option to copy the CA, but also that button there, check DAMM V2 pool, so it'll take you straight to it.
Yeah. So it'll kind of bring you to the pool directly.
Oh, let's see.
So that way, you know, instead of populating the results, you can kind of just add in the amount and go in there that way. Because when you create the pools themselves, I think it takes probably, if you're fast enough, you can probably get it in maybe like 5-10 seconds. You know, just get clicking the buttons. That way, it just makes things a lot more efficient to connect to the pools themselves.
So did you just say that this will create it?
No. This just brings you to the pool that's already created, so you don't have to like compare the filters and look for it.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Gotcha.
it just optimizes your process and adding LP.
Yeah. So okay, that's a lot like what Alex does with a lot of his tools. Is, you know, he gives you a button that just, you know, like, you like this, let LFG. You know, here's the link. I dig that.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
So
Yes.
I just wanna add here. I am not familiar with this tool, but based on the button check DOM V2 pools, I think this is the checker for pools. If possible, the pools don't exist. I'm not sure.
okay.
Do you have any info, Shirama?
What was that? I didn't catch that.
I think this button check DOM V2 pools is check for existing pools and is probably to the DOM V2 pool to be not created yet or not.
Yeah, so that's not for DLM. This is only for DAMM V2.
Yeah, DAMM V2.
Yeah, so if you wanted to DLM, you could just copy the contract address and then open or join an existing pool.
Now, my question was, it is possible to DM MMV2 pools who don't exist for this token?
Oh, I don't think you can create a pool from Rocket Scan. It's only to just add from the dashboard. It's like a dashboard management.
Just for checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Meteora will always be I think the king in as far as setting up a pool. The only apps that I've known to create the pool themselves, you would usually have to give API access. And I'm not a fan of that, so I personally don't do that.
Let's see, what was that Rocket Scan? Yeah, so someone just asked, can we link to Rocket Scan, please? So there it is, rocketscan.fun /dashboard. That's where he's at.
Okay, yeah, so that's the main page. So you can kind of filter by timeframes, but I just leave it at defaults. I don't really change anything. It's optimized pretty well. Auto refreshes every 5 minutes. So what I do is I just have this tab pulled up, and I will just check on it every once in a while. So it's yeah, it's pretty simple. It's pretty optimized pretty well. UI is pretty clean, and Will from the Meteora LP Army is the one who made it. And if you have any questions or would like any extra features, you can kind of reach out to him, and he's more to happy to help out.
Will Fox.
Yes, Will Fox.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Will Fox. Man, he likes him for sure. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. Hashirama?
Yep, Hashirama.
Hashirama. Awesome. Okay. All right. And guys, down there in the bottom in the scrolling banner, I'll put his X if you want to follow him. You know, feel free. We shared Magika earlier. Of course, those resources that I showed, there's some great guys to follow that just they couldn't be here today. So yeah. Someone's asking in a chat, what are the criteria for creating a DAMM V2 pool? And we kind of already went over that. I'm not really sure if you're just asking, like, I mean, you could create one for any token. I don't know if you're asking what pool settings are, or
I think they're maybe asking like what criteria would qualify a good DAMM V2 pool.
gotcha. Okay.
And I think that is based on preference. Oh, in Rocket Pool. Yeah, so for Rocket Pool, as I was explaining earlier, I would put a small amount in all pools because I don't know which one's going to necessarily be successful. So with the pump tokens, they're usually just memes. So like I was explaining earlier, pump swap usually are very short-lived projects. So since we don't know what's gonna be good or not, it's kind of like a ratio, and then you can kind of pick from there. And when I first started, the reason why I was selecting Launchpad specifically was to filter out kind of these kind of like less qualified, and that's why I like Believe launches, because they don't launch as much, but when they do, they can be really good hits. So
Sure.
for Believe launches, I will always put a small amount in DAMM V2, and then mostly all the time, DLM, even when there's small market cap for Believe launches, will always do well. So I always put a small amount in.
So you're looking for quality over quantity.
Correct.
And now I know a lot of people, what they're looking at is, you know, volume. I don't know if anybody's really paying any attention to the market cap, but you know, with anything, volume is king.
Yeah. Agreed.
But you know, especially if you're looking at pump fund. Now, one thing, you know, you can create a pool before something bonds.
Mhm.
That's a thing. But you know, as with anything, it's a risk. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Let's see. Yeah, so probably less is more. Is probably the good way to go about it. Like you don't need much to make a lot, but it's also just kind of getting more exposure. So kind of seeing what launchpads produce what projects and knowing kind of like the meta. Like sometimes you'll get an animal token that will get one MEV and you'll print a lot more on that one than a large project that has high volume and doesn't route to DBC tech.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What was this? Someone's asking for a demo. Let's see if I can't rug some money here with you guys. That didn't work. Rocket scan dot on. Just share a screen here. Okay. All right. So where do I want to go here? I'm just looking. I see here and I see pump fun.
Mm-hmm.
You like the Believe. So how do I filter that out? I go here. Where do I go?
All right, 1 second here. So for uh, on the rocket scan itself, I don't think there's a filter specifically for the launch pads themselves.
I
So
see.
if you were trying to see like a believe launch pad, they should have a logo right next to the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think the yellow pill is pump swap, the green logo is pump fun, and then it kind of goes associated with the logo. But pump fun launches the most, so majority of the time it'll just be pump fun on rocket scan. So if you want to filter out specifically for the launch pad, I would go to juke.pro, juke.ag.pro.
All right. Let's see. Here's one FEG. See, are there any DAMM V2 pools? No pools found. So I'm gonna copy the CA, but I'm gonna go say create pool. It's gonna open meteor.ag. Let's do this. Let's rug. I'm gonna rug some money. You guys don't have to follow me here, but I'm gonna rug some money here. So select token
AMC
FEG.
doing a DJ play? Where are we
What?
going? You are doing
What?
a DJ play? That's new.
Yeah, man, let's rug some money, dude. I'm gonna buy a little bit.
This one has not migrated yet, so you not earn any fees before migration, I think.
Where'd it go? Not migrated. Oh, it went away. Or let's see, all tokens. New token alert. Okay. Well, that's not any fun. Oh, there really isn't much launched here. Top token change, dad, mother effer. All right, let's see. Do we have any DAMM V2 pools for it? Is that the one we were doing earlier?
I'm not sure if that was. I'm not sure.
I think we were doing a different one here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into this one. Screw it. You're right. That other one, it wasn't. Wasn't out there yet. Wasn't migrated. Which, I mean, you could. You run the risk of it migrating. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna be safe. I'm gonna rug check this.
The way to go.
Okay. All right. It says I won't get rugged too bad. Maybe. We'll see. All right. So I need to buy a little bit. I'm gonna go really small. All right. So we got some money here. This one, this pool, there's no, I just noticed on this, there is no fee scheduler on this one. I don't know that I want any of that.
Because it's a volatility pool, I think.
That it's what?
This one is a volatility one. Someone created a volatility pool for this one.
Yeah, you broke up. I can't make out. Here we go. Yeah,
that's better.
it's already at 12%, but
I remember like 2 weeks ago, I lost around $500 on a MEV because someone created a quotes token pool, and I got MEVs and got nothing, and the token is straight rugs. And I didn't look properly. That was wrong setup on the pool.
Yeah. And that's something like, there's already two for this one, and one is performing percentage-wise better than the other. But they've actually got about the same amount of volume, but different amounts of TVL here. Far less TVL and the same amount of volume. It's interesting. Of course, that could be a lot of factors for that. But let's see. This is the one we're in. No fees. Well, it's not fun. Did not migrated. Let's look at this. Okay. It's up, man. Belt, dad's weapon. I find that funny.
Yeah, with Father's Day coming up too.
Yeah.
We have a question on AGMC.
What's the question?
Do we always need to buy the token, or can't you just use so?
Yeah, you do. You do have to buy the token. You can't go one-sided with this. And I'll even, demonstrate that here in just a second. Let me just rug check this.
I think Rookcheck have problems with token before migration these days. But
Yeah,
you can make fast Rookcheck in GMGM if you click on the holders and things like this. You can see wallet connection holders. Yes. Scroll down. Scroll. Seems good, this one.
Alex says it's good, so let's fucking go, right?
Yeah, put 10K in this one.
Yeah. Rugby daddy?
Yep.
All right, no pools found. Create pool. Let's go. Okay, built estimated price. Okay, 279. I'm just gonna say bucket and put this in there. 6%. Start now. Quote token. I don't want USDC. I want Sol.
Yeah, but you put USDC price. Just be very careful with this.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Alex.
You can get the price from GMGM in Sol.
Yeah.
Oh, it's here. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay. So exponential or linear? Which one do we want?
I think first one is okay. Linear is too much for this token.
Okay.
The linear takes 1 day to go to the 6% fee. So if you think this token has enough volatility to move more than 50% over a day, maybe it can be a play, but we're not getting any tokens with this setup, so I don't think it's worth it.
You don't think this one's worth doing?
I want to test on a big launch, like Trump and Louds, because maybe we can have more MEVs in a bigger time frame, because the fee schedule takes 2 hours on the exponential, but 24 hours on the other one. So I think I want to test on a big launch with tons of volume and
Go ahead.
big candles. But right now, I don't think any tokens can be worth to test that. So we are just doing exponential for now.
Okay. All right, cool. We're actually running up at the top of our time here, actually. So actually probably gonna stop with that. Let me put this back up here. Let's see. Any additional questions? There's the guides and extra strategies, people to follow on X. I'm going to go back one more time. Actually, no, we're going to be right here. So that's pretty much it, all that we have time to cover today. If you have more questions, of course, feel free to ask in the LP Army Discord. You know, folks are there to help you out. I want to give a big thanks to Magika, Hashirama, and Alex for coming and helping out today. I can't do this stuff by myself, you know, so really appreciate you guys coming and helping us out today. I hope this was beneficial to everybody, and that we all learned something. I sure did. So again, thank you. And we'll see you guys in the trenches. Anything final you guys want to say?
Always good to see you in Discord.
Yeah.
I like this. This is fun. Can we do this again?
Weekly?
We will definitely do
back in
more.
the trenches.
Yeah, for sure. And we can always do things in the Discord, you know, the voice channel. We can do this kind of stuff and just get in and have a DAMM V2 party. But
I have one last thing to say. When,
Yeah.
Mev? When?
Win, Mev. Yeah, nice. Right on. All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming, everybody. And y'all have a good weekend. And to all the dads out there, happy Father's Day if you celebrate that. So see you guys around.
Yeah, take care.
See you.
Thank